We'd lived in that house for years, long enough for routines to feel permanent. Same driveway, same front door, same quiet evenings. So when I pulled up that afternoon and noticed something slightly off about the lock, I didn't think much of it at first. Just a small detail. Until I reached for my keys and they didn't work. I tried again, nothing. That slow, sinking feeling hit before the realization fully formed. This wasn't a mistake. The locks had been changed. I stepped back, scanning the door, noticing fresh hardware, untouched metal, no sign of wear. And then I saw it, a folded notice taped beside the frame. Access temporarily restricted due to HOA rule violation. My stomach dropped. Inside that house was everything, our belongings, our documents, our daily life. I knocked, hard at first, then louder. No response. I tried calling the HOA office. No answer. And then, almost like it had been timed, Karen appeared from across the street, calm, composed, like she had been expecting this moment. "You can't just ignore community standards," she said, as if explaining something obvious. I stared at her, trying to process what I was hearing. "You changed my locks," I said. "Not a question. A statement." She didn't deny it. "Temporary enforcement," she replied, "until the violation is resolved." The calmness in her voice made it worse. This wasn't confusion. This was intention. "You can't do that," I said, keeping my voice steady even as anger built underneath. "That's my home." She shrugged slightly. "You signed the HOA agreement." That was the moment everything shifted. Because there's a line between enforcing rules and crossing into something else entirely. And she had crossed it. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. Instead, I stepped back, took out my phone, and made a call. Not to the HOA, to someone who actually understood where that line was. Within an hour, things started moving. Not loudly, not dramatically, just correctly. A patrol car pulled up, then another. Conversations were had at the door, then at the sidewalk, then directly with Karen. Her tone changed quickly from confident to defensive, from certain to uncertain. Because what she had done wasn't a gray area. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was unlawful entry and denial of access. The kind of action that doesn't get resolved with a warning. The kind that requires immediate correction. The locks were removed that same day. Access restored. But more importantly, the situation didn't just reset, it escalated. Statements were taken. Reports filed. The HOA, which had supported her strict enforcement before, shifted its position almost instantly. Because this wasn't about aesthetics or minor violations anymore. This was about property rights, and that's not something you get to reinterpret. Karen, who had spent so much time asserting control, suddenly found herself answering for decisions she clearly didn't understand the consequences of. In the days that followed, new notices went out. Clear policies, clear limits, clear reminders of what the HOA can and cannot do. And Karen? She disappeared from the conversation entirely. No more clipboard. No more enforcement. Just silence. A few evenings later, I stood at that same front door, keys in hand, turning the lock without resistance. It clicked open like it always had, simple, normal, hours, and as I stepped inside, I realized something important. Karen thought she was enforcing a rule, but what she actually did was break one that matters far more. And when you cross that kind of line, it doesn't just backfire. It ends the moment you thought you were in control.